No traffic. No neighbors yelling across fences. Just pine trees, a narrow gravel road, and a lake that reflected the sky like glass. After 20 years of city noise, this bliss felt unreal. I parked my truck, stepped out, and breathed in air that actually smelled clean. I'd barely unloaded my second box when the crunch of tires broke the quiet. A white sub-wheat bold ho lettering pulled up fast, followed by a second car. Doors slammed. Footsteps marched toward me like they owned the ground beneath my boots. A woman in a blazer stepped forward, clipboard in hand, smile tight and practiced. "Excuse me," she sighed sharply. "Who gave you permission to be here?" I blinked. "Permission?" "Yes," she replied. "This property falls under the Pine Ridge Homeowners Association. You're trespassing." Two men flanked ahead, both wearing identical expressions of authority borrowed, not earned. One of them scanned my cabin like it offended him personally. "I just moved in," I sighed calmly. "This is my place." The woman laughed. Actually laughed. "No," she sighed, flipping a page on her clipboard. "This land is HOA-controlled. No new structures, no occupancy, and certainly no cadence. You'll need to vacate immediately." I looked past them at my cabin. The porch had restored myself. The roof had repaired. The place had bought fair and square after months of paperwork. "I own this land," I sighed. Her smile vanished. "Sir," she snapped, "we deal with people like you all the time. Off-grid types who think a deed off the internet means something. This entire area belongs to the HOA." One of the men stepped closer. "You've got 30 days to remove yourself and this structure before fines begin." "Fines?" I repeated. "Yes. Daily fines. And if necessary, legal action." I nodded slowly. "Interesting." She misread that nod as fear. "I suggest you cooperate. We're being generous." I walked to my truck, ignoring their smug looks, and opened the glove compartment. Inside was a thick folder, documents I'd reviewed more times than I could count. Deeds. Surveys. Lease agreements. I pulled it out and walked back. "Before you go any further," I sighed, "you might want to check something." She scoffed. "We don't need." I opened the folder and laid it across the hood of his sub. She stopped talking. The man beside her leaned in, squinting at the top page. His face shifted first, from confidence to confusion. The woman followed, reading aloud without meaning to. "Land parcel sotero be ownership transferred permanent title holder." Her voice trailed off. I tapped the page. "That's my name." She flipped pages faster now. Her hands trembled slightly. "What is this?" she demanded. "That," I sighed, "is the master deed for this land." She swallowed. "That's not possible." I flipped to another document. "Here's the lease agreement." Her ears widened. The men went silent. "This land," I continued, "was leased to Pine Ridge HOA in 2010. Renewable every 10 years. Guess who didn't renew?" Silence fell heavy. One of the men whispered, "Oh no." The woman's face drained of color. "You see," I sighed evenly, "you didn't storm onto a trespasser's property." I closed the folder. "You stormed onto your landlord's." No one spoke for a long moment. The lake rippled softly behind us, the only sound brave enough to fill the silence. That can't be right," the woman finally sighed. "We own these homes. Hundreds of them." "You own the buildings," I replied. "Not the land beneath them." She shook her head. "Our lawyers." "Mr. Renewal Class," I finished. Page 9. Automatic termination if not signed within 60 days. One of the men slumped against the sub. "We never signed anything." "I know." Her voice dropped. "What does that mean?" "It means," I sighed, "that every road, utility easement, clubhouse, and lot line sits on land now fully reverted to me." The confidence they'd arrived with evaporated. "You can't just evict an entire HOA," she sighed weakly. I shrugged. I don't plan to. Hope flickered across his face. I plan to renegade it. She straightened, trying to regain control. On what terms? I smiled for the first time. Fair ones. I flipped up on the folder again. Back rent. Market rate. New rules. And no more harassment of lawful residents, especially me. The men exchanged panicked looks. You moved in today, One sighed quietly. Yes, I replied. And you showed up uninvited, threatened fines, and tried to intimidate the property owner. The woman swallowed hard. This was a misunderstanding. No, I sighed gently. This was entitlement. She nodded stiffly. Well, inform the board. Please do. They retreated to their cars without another word. Tires crunched. Engine started. The subs disappeared down the gravel road they suddenly remembered they didn't own. That evening, I sat on my porch as the sun dipped behind the trees. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. This is the Pine Ridge HOA president, a man sighed, voice strained. We need to talk. Tomorrow, I replied. Office hours start at 9. He hesitated. Office? Yes, I sighed, looking around my quiet cabin. Mine. I hung up. Over the next week, panic spread through Pine Ridge like wildfire. Residents demanded answers. Board members blamed each other. Lawyers scrambled. I stayed quiet. On Friday, the entire board showed up, this time respectful, nervous, and carrying folders of their own. They sat across from me at a simple wooden table. We want to make things right, the president sighed. I slid over a new lease agreement. Terms were clear. Fair rent. Transparent governance. And on a clause highlighted in bold. The HOA acknowledges the landowner's permanent residency and authority over land use decisions. They signed. Word spread fast. The trespasser was now known as the owner. Neighbors waved. Some apologized. Others brought peace. The woman from the first day never returned. As for me, I finally finished unpacking. Every morning, I sip coffee on my porch, listening to the wind through the